Alright, so today we are going to change rotors on Suzuki Verona 2004. It's very simple process, won't take more than an hour to replace it. What you have to do is you have to take this tire off. Once you take the tire off, put the lose those lug nuts while car is standing on the ground. Lose the lug nuts, then put the car on a jack. Make sure you put a jack stand. Once you put the jack stand, just take the tire off, and we will show you what's the process and how to do it. And you can also change brake pads in the same time. We don't have to. We know that we have a good brake pads. It's just a rotor is bad. It's putting so much scratches on the brake pad, so we know it has to be replaced. The tools you need is this one, brake cleaner. You may need this silicone for losing the bolts, and impact wrench, and impact driver, and 14mm sock wrench, and whatever it is called, and jack, of course, new rotor, jack stand. That's pretty much is. And we have a pipe, so we can use it as a leverage for this wrench, so we basically do it like that and put it like that, make it a little bit easier to do those bolts. Alright, so this process should not take more than an hour. It's very easy. And here you go. Okay, so I forget one more thing. You need a C-clamp like that, and you need to take a hood off, and you need to open this cap from the brake fluid reserve oil. I will show you why in a minute. Then right now you can see we just took the tire off, and there's a jack, and there's a jack stand, and here's this thing. So what we have to do in order to take this rotor off, first we have to lose this screw, this bolt, actually not screw, both this bolt, and there's a bolt underneath it. Then this whole thing will come out. We will hang it right here with this wire. Alright, so once that, then we have to take this caliper assembly, the whole thing where the caliper goes to. We have to take this out. Then we have to remove this screw. I want to give you a tip here. You don't want to use a screwdriver to take this off, because you can actually damage it, and it's pretty tight. If you have a impacted driver or something like that, it will do this job like in a second. This is a very good tool to have it. Don't use a screwdriver. I even try to use the long screwdriver on the other side. It doesn't work. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So all you have to do is take this screw and take this whole thing off, and we will go from there. Alright, so first take this caliper bolts off, these two bolts off. Once you take these bolts off, you want to, this whole thing will come out, and you want to hang it, and you don't want to put stress on this this pipe. This is a brake fluid pipe. Don't want to put a stress on it. That's why we're gonna use this wire. Once you take these bolts off, then there's the two bolts here. This one, there's another one here, and one is on the bottom. This will take this where this caliper goes to. So you take this whole thing off, and tool you need for this thing is a 14mm wrench. So I use this side because it's pretty easy to use. It's not that tight, pretty easy. When you as soon as you remove these four bolts, these two and those two and you take this screw off, your 90% job is done. Alright, we will show you. And once you take this new rotor off, old rotor off, and put the new one in, you want to actually clean it with the brake cleaner really good, because they have a grease on it or oily thing on it, so it protect them from corrosion. So you want to take this whole oil stuff out from this rotor, and don't want to touch the rotor as much as possible, because you want it clean, neat, clean, and no greasy stuff on it. Alright, we will show you how to do it then. Okay, so how to lose these upper bolts so that you can take the caliper off. Basically, you put the wrench like that and use it like this towards front. So it's the car is standing like that, you just put wrench and go like that, and same thing on the bottom one, like that. And you want to use 17 millimeter for the whole caliper assembly. The bottom two, same thing, go from there and it will comes forward. Okay, like he's doing it. It's gonna be really tight, it's not gonna be easy, so I'll right like that. Okay, alright, so same concept on the bottom bolt, you got it. Alright, we will show you now the next step. Okay, so basically it was like that. So once you took those two bolts off, this one and the bottom one, it was kind of like that, and you just struggle with it a little bit, and it should come like that. And it's in your hand, this is a caliper. And all you had to, if you are putting a new shoes, you have to move this piston a little bit back, but you don't want to move this piston if there is a cap on the brake fluid reserve oil thing. So you took the cap off. That's why we open a hood and took the cap from the brake fluid, and then you just use this C-clamp to push this piston back. We are not going to change it right now, so I'll show you how to do it in a minute. So that's where the wire comes handy. Here you go. So no stress on this wire and this pipe. So caliper is hanging, and now just took this shoes off. They go like that, one in the front, one in the back, like that. It was like that. So this one is actually your indicator. So if you're looking at shoe, I still have that much shoe left, so that's why we're not changing a shoe. This much is a shoe left. Once it goes to this point, this is all metal. This will damage your caliper, I mean rotor. That's why you have this indicator right here. As soon this shoe goes off, like all the shoe is rubbed up and finished, they say you have to replace the brake pads. This is the metal. This metal will start touching your rotor before the whole metal will start touching. So this little metal piece will start making a grinding noise, like as soon as you hear this, you know that you need to replace your shoes. Okay, but you can see easily that how big is the shoe. So I have this much of shoe left right now. You don't want to use this. This is just a metal, so you don't want this metal to touching your rotors. But this is what happened. We have pretty big scratch on this rotor. So we want to replace the rotor, that's why we are here redoing it. So basically took those off. The indicator one, shoe one will go back side of it, it was like that, and the other one goes like that, so just like that. Okay, and you take these bottom bolts off. We already lose them, so basically this bolt and this bolt and this whatever this thing called, caliber assembly or whatever holding this caliber, this whole assembly will come out. 50% or you can say 60% of job is already done. So put it on the side, it was like that, so just remember it when you put it. Well, you won't forget because the bolts go from the back side of it, you can't put it this way. And now you just lose this screw, but remember when you put the new rotor on, you see this, they mark it like it was that much tight, you have to put it like that. So you want to match it. If you well, we are going to replace rotor, so this whole thing will change, so we won't know. But look like somebody already took the rotor off because it's not matching. It's supposed to be like this way, but it's like that. But anyway, we find out. Alright, we'll show you the next step in a minute. Alright, so we took this screw off and we took this assembly off, and this is pretty much gonna come like that. Alright, it's gonna come like that. Okay. Alright, so that's 90% done, nothing fancy, just easy as that. And now put a little bit brake fluid here, clean up this hub assembly a little bit. It's very easy work, but I'm taking my time. It's nothing difficult in this thing, very easy to do. And the weird part is these mechanic shops, they want $100 labor just to replace this thing. You don't want $100 to give them. Alright, I'm gonna put it right here. You see, I did not touch the rotor part, so all you have to do is just clean up real good like that. And I'm gonna use this just to dry it. This brake fluid, it dry really quick, so you don't need to worry about so much about this. And put it the other side too, like that. Do the same thing. Inside too, like See, just like that, easy. And just dry this thing, and try not to touch this area with your finger as much as possible. I know it's very difficult, but hey, this is how you save $100. So when you put this one, you want to line up this screw with this hole, okay? This hole with this hole, because you want to put that screw back in like that. See this one? This screw hole with this hole, line up and just put it like that, and easy as that. Nothing difficult. But see, I touch those rotors, but I have no choice. Basically, little bit. Do not hand tight this thing. You need to tight this thing. This thing is supposed to be really good tight. So I'll show you. I put another brake fluid, brake cleaner, so I can took my finger residue off from it. You don't want any greasy stuff on. Alright, so impact wrench, impact driver, here you go, pretty tight now, huh? That's about it. And now just put this thing back in, and then you just put the caliper off, and put the shoes in, and you got good to go. I'll show you in a minute.